know what to expect because I'm based in Africa and I attend a lot of kinds of conferences and summits in Africa, and that's a great privilege that I have. So I didn't know really what the mix of subject matter and experience and attendees would be at Afrobytes, but I've been really impressed with the level of enthusiasm, the level of interest, and just the level of passion overall by all of the attendees. Not only my fellow panelists and speakers showcasing their innovations and their startups, but attendees who came from sometimes very far to learn, to network, to connect with people sharing these stories. I think it's the place for fintech. I think fintech can be a little bit too broad a term. There are a lot of innovations going on in spaces that I think don't even really solve a problem. When you think about Apple Pay or near-field communication payments, that's also fintech. And I don't know that world very well. But when I think about fintech in the African context, it's very often anchored in some form of financial inclusion, bringing access where there wasn't access before, whether it's for merchants or individuals or financial services like insurance, savings, credit. So I think it really is the place for that end of the fintech spectrum where I think there's much more interesting projects going on. I don't know Europe very well. I know that there were some projects by like Tagatitude a few years ago to do sort of a mobile payment thing. I think ultimately fintech innovation has to be solving a problem and not just a new gadget or toy. So I think the mobile money use cases in African contexts start with access and not with speed or even really convenience, but it comes down to access. We do see sometimes people, even with bank accounts, using mobile money because it's convenient. So they have a bank account, but their bank doesn't let them top up their cable service at night from their couch, but their mobile money service does. So we see a mix of access and convenience, but really where it's anchored in Africa is access. So there's a merchant who's sitting on too much cash and it becomes a security risk, or there's an individual who wants to send money to another part of the country or to another country. It can be for savings, it can be, again, accessing financial services. I think there are a lot of use cases in Africa. This year is extremely exciting for us. At MFS Africa, we are connected to over 100 million mobile wallets across the continent. And there are some smaller networks we have yet to connect to, and we're very actively going after them. But we're ready to branch out from that part of our ecosystem and move on to connecting more and more bank systems, more and more money transfer companies. We're an API-based company, so anyone can implement our API and send to any of the wallets connected to our system. We're building merchant capabilities, bulk payment, adding airtime to our API. All of this is really exciting, and so we're really looking forward to how this year plays out with all of those new partners.